Hello and welcome to this video for Raid Shadow Legends. This video will be part 3, the missing part 3, but we've got a slight problem. This will be part 3 for the Beginner's Bootcamp for Raid Shadow Legends, but my original video, as I believe I said in another video, my original video did not come out with the audio from the microphone. For whatever reason, you do not hear my voice, you hear the music of the game, but you don't hear anything from me as you are going through the video, so I had to redo the whole thing. Well, I was going to just overdub it. I figured out how to do that in Kdenlive. That's what I use for my video editor, but I don't like it. I don't like the. I like Kdenlive, and I like the way I could do the over. All of that's perfectly fine. I just don't like the end result. How complicated it is. I'm sitting there trying to watch where the mouse is, and trying to narrate what I'm doing, and I can't even remember what I did. It's just not comfortable for me. I don't know how people do this for Minecraft, where they build something and they kind of narrate over it and kind of explain what they're doing. And they seem to do a really good job with it. For me, it seems unnatural. It seems difficult. I don't like it. So, enough blabbing on that. I have decided to just scrap that and do it over. But unfortunately, that means that we're going to lose that. And now I don't remember the word that I was using, but that I was trying to keep a consistency. I was trying to keep it where I was at that particular level at that time. You know, I didn't want to come back in the future when I'm way advanced and way leveled up and try to do it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep that kind of sense that you're progressing with me, and that this is going to kind of ruin that, but then it'll go back to normal as of episode 4, the next episode, so that'll be good. This will be the only kind of jarring out of place, and I wish I had another solution other than starting the whole series over again and just starting from zero. I don't know what that would be. So here we go with this. Anyway, so the other areas of the game, the dungeons and etc., are locked until stage 6. And I wanted to show the star levels for completing a stage. So that's something I wanted to talk about, as well as multi-battle and how that works. So let's go over these two things really quick. And just kind of put yourself as if I'm way back at I'm below level 10 at this point. Actually, I'm below level 6. I'm probably level 3, 4, or 5 when I did this initially. So think of this as somebody who is actually looking at the game when he's at level 3, 4, or 5. A lot of this stuff is locked up. This is locked up. I think even the tavern is locked. The portal is open. This is probably locked. The advanced quests are locked, so try to put yourself into that position. It's going to look pretty much the same as it looked in part 2 and part 4. So let's go ahead and go to battle. Of course, all of this campaign stuff would have been locked up, and I wouldn't have been proceeding very far. I would be on normal mode, and I'd be somewhere in one of these early stages. I wouldn't have the champions that I have now, but we'll go through the star levels. So you see that I have 3 stars on all of these. And I've actually gone through, and I think for the most part, I've got 3 stars now. I've got some more here I'm going to return to and get 3 stars on these last couple. To do this, all you have to do is go through the stage, and you have to have everybody survive. Now, these first stages, you just have 2. And then in later stages, as you see, they go up in number. You get more slots. Now you have 3. And then I think you have 4 here. No, 3 here, and then you have 4 maybe as of the sewers of Arnok. Yes, at this point you now have 4 slots. And I think it maxes out at 4 slots. I don't think it ever goes higher than that. And then you see here the star ratings. 1 star if you beat the stage. That means most everybody has died. There's only 1 character pretty much standing, 1 champion standing. You beat the stage, you get 1 star. If you beat the stage and there's no losses, so if I went through with all 4 of these champions and I were to fight these 4 and I didn't lose any of my champions, but I was using 4 of them instead of just 2, I would get the 2 stars. To get the 3 stars, I have to go through this stage with just 2 champions, and I can't lose either of them. And that's how it works through all of the campaign stages. That's how you get your 3 stars. The more stars you get per stage, the further along you get on the little rewards that they have here, and the stronger you are to get you through the later stages of the game. Now, the basics of multi-battle, once you have beaten a stage, and even with just 1 star, once you have beaten and unlocked it, you now have the option to come in here to multi-battle, and you can click on this, and you can choose to do a multi-battle. You'll have 30 of these each day. I don't remember what you had when you first started. I think it was still 30. You have options here you can check. Now, I have it to automatically sell these pieces of equipment when fighting, because I am now trying to focus on 4-star equipment, but that's because I have way leveled up and advanced. In reality, where you are right now, you're going to want the 1 star, the 2 star, and the 3, so do not have these clicked on. Keep those open, and so have it look like that. And I'm going to have to turn off in 30 minutes, but that's good. It means I got a time limit. Continue multi-battle even while champions hit max level. You'll definitely want that checked. You want this checked if you lose a battle, unless you want to stop if you're continually losing. It might be a smart idea to uncheck this, because then you can find out what you need to do to make your champions live a little longer, what kind of adjustments you have to make in their positioning or whatever. I talk more about that in later videos. And you can work on that and make sure that if you lose a battle, it stops and you can adjust, and then you can resume your multi-battles from that point. So you might want to uncheck that. Do not check this. Don't waste your gems trying to automatically restore energy. I'm going to put these back because I'm going to always leave it that way, but you probably should not, because you're going to want all the accessories you can get at this point. Okay, so let's talk about the dailies, and we'll go into a little bit about the shop. We'll talk about the dailies first. So every day, now that the time zone has changed, it is now going to be 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everything cycles over to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time the following day. You have a 12-hour window. You should have everything wrapped up by 3:45 p.m. and no later. When we spring forward, it will then be 5 p.m. to 5 p.m. The clan boss will reset now at 2 a.m. Later on, it'll be 3 a.m. and you can usually collect your rewards about 3:05 to 3:15. Right now, it'll be 2:05 to 2:15, and you usually have your check-in. I believe it'll now be 12 a.m. for your clan and 1 a.m. once it springs forward again. But right now, it'll be 12 a.m. So keep that in mind. Anyway, your dailies, what you'll have access to are these right here: your daily, weekly, and monthly. These will recycle during the times that I have stated, 4 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And each of these tasks is something you can do, and once you've done it and completed it, once all of this is completed, you'll be able to grab the reward here that's at the top. So we've got fight in Classic Arena 5 times, summon 3 champions, use 50 energy, increase champions level in the tavern 3 times, make 4 artifact or accessory upgrade attempts, purchase an item at the market, and win campaign battle 7 times. Now, if you come in and you just develop kind of a habit where you just check the market, in the early stages you might buy gear that's of value to you. Be very careful what gear you buy. I talk about that more in later videos. Buy good gear only gear that's worth it, and only when you have surplus finances for that. Be very careful and stingy with your silver. But you might purchase that. You will always purchase the mystery and ancient shards if you can afford the ancient shards. The mystery shards will be 5,000, ancient will be 20,000. Do I have that right, or is it 100,000? No, it's 200,000. It's 200,000 silver for the ancient, and it's 5,000 for, 200,000 for the ancient, 5,000 for the mystery. So you want to grab those if you can, but you're always going for those mystery shards. You're especially going to need those when you're starting out to get some more 3-star and 2-star quality champions. Campaign battles, you're going to be going through the game and progressing, leveling people up, collecting gear, so that's just going to be a natural progress of playing the game every day. For artifact accessory upgrade attempts, again, natural process of playing the game every day. You get a good piece of gear, you're going to want to upgrade it. We'll go over that briefly. I think I cover it more in depth later. Summoning champions, right here, you're going to be doing that every day, and I just do 10. I always collect all these mystery shards, so I just do 10 every day, and that covers this. And then I go through and I feed the champions to each other. So all the same 1-stars that I have, I feed them all into one 1-star, so that increases the level of the 1-star. Do the same later on for the 2-stars. Right now I'd be keeping a lot of the 2-stars because I need more champions to bolster my forces to get through. But later on I'll be doing that with the 2-stars, and eventually even doing that. Well, I don't think I'd ever be doing that with 3-stars. 3-stars I usually turn into food of some sort, or I turn them into skill books for other champions. I could do that with a 2-star and 1-star as well. They do have a progress mission where they want you, and I don't know if it's going to show here, but they want you to take a couple of, not a progress mission, I think it's a challenge mission. These will get done just as you're doing your dailies and going through the game normally, but it wants you to upgrade 3 common champions, that's the 1-star champions, to level 20. So keep that in mind initially. You may not want to throw away those 1-star champions. I mean, feeding them into each other is fine because that will level them up, but you want to take them up to level 20 instead of feeding them in as food at level 10 like I was doing in this account until I found that and trying to figure that out and get that done right. But that will also be one of your dailies. And in your classic arena, you're going to want that for the forged materials and stuff, which you'll be able to access at level 35. And you'll use 50 energy in your normal everyday fighting. You also got to fight a campaign boss 3 times, so that will use up that energy as you're searching for gear, fighting the campaign boss. I don't know where that is in here, but it's usually every and that adds up to 15 over here in your weekly, 25, so if you summon 10 at a time, you get this really quick. And then we've got to talk about this, upgrading to level 12, rank 4, all of this stuff here, because you got to do all of these to get this. And of course you want to log in your daily quest 5 times. Now it is not consecutive days. You could log in one day and then log in another day a month later, and it will just count it as day 2 a month later. It doesn't matter when the day 2 is, so it can be any time after you've done day 1. The next time you log in, it'll be day 2. And eventually when you reach day 5 of playing the game, you'll be able to collect this. Once you've done all the rewards for each of those days, you'll be able to collect this and then collect this. And then the monthly, we're going to talk about this level 16 in another video for later on when you're further on in the game. These will all be locked if you're just starting out. You won't have more than, like, I think there's 6 or 5 that you'll have. You won't see all the rest. They'll need to be unlocked. They get unlocked, as I might talk about in later videos. I think I do. When you have gems, I believe it's gems for this side and silver for this side, or vice versa. You always want to collect these mystery shards whenever they show up here. That's very important. You're going to need those mystery shards. You won't be seeing a lot of 4-star gear initially. You'll be seeing a lot of 2 and 1-star and weaker stuff, and this 3-star stuff. These shields are nice, and I'm almost ready to bite on them, but I'm going to wait because my silver is limited. I'm going to need that silver for something else that I need to talk about. Either, I don't know if I can talk about it in this video. I think I'll have to talk about it in a future video. But there's something I need to talk about. So we got some tournaments that are expiring and some other ones that are coming in. We're going to click on that red dot and find out what's going on, then go back to what we were doing. Okay, so now let's talk about the shop. So the shop has changed since I first did the video. It doesn't really give you a red dot anymore. Now there'll be a little claim thing in red text either here or here when these cycle through. These cycle through on this clock that they have. So this is 22 hours. 22 basically. And basically 4 days here. And they just want you to come in here and look at all of this. They want you to see how terrible these prices are, because these are very terrible prices. Then they want you to stumble on down here, and now they have some limited offers they'll give you that'll also be free. So they want you to come in here and look at this, and once you look at these and you compare them, what you can get to over here, you're going to start thinking, oh, okay, these are good deals. Let's go ahead and buy the stuff. Keep in mind that you need to be careful with your finances. Unless you have a lot of disposable income that you can throw away at something, this is basically throwing your money away because you're not getting anything when you buy this. There's no real tangible object that you are buying. This stuff that you get out of these packs, all it's doing is giving you something you can use while you play Raid Shadow Legends, and it gives players some more money for their continuing work on the game and paying everybody and whatever they're doing on their end. And whatever, the people that own Plarium, whatever profit they're trying to get a hold of. That's all you're really doing with this. So you need to be very careful and think about it. But as you compare, like this here for $2.99, you can get, $29.90, just $2.99. You get one ancient shard, you get this energy refill chicken, all of this stuff. And if you compare that to what you see over here in the gem shop, it seems like a really good deal. Okay, well, it would take me 270 of these gems to get 3 shards, and you go here to the bank and you see that it's $5 for 175 and $10 for 350 gems. What can I get over here for $10? And you'll stumble on something like this, or you'll stumble on something like this, and sometimes there's a $10 overtime type pack. I think they might even have one here. Daily gem pack right here. This is obviously more gems. So this is obviously a better deal, and they want you to think that and to buy this stuff. And it is a better deal than what's in the bank, but the people setting all of the prices and the money and providing an idea of scarcity and an idea of you being special and getting certain offers and deciding what the value of everything is Plarium. So you got to keep that in mind when you're looking at this stuff. If you're going to be free to play, you don't want to be biting too much, if at all, on any of these things. Just get your free things and run, basically. Understand that this is a gacha game. It's going to advertise these at some point over here on the side. It's going to have those pop-ups every time you come back to your bastion. It can be anywhere from 1 to 6 or 5 or 6 of those pop-ups. Just got to be aware of what you're dealing with there. Okay, I'm running around a little bit in circles, but let's go into some stuff about gear real quick. I guess I'll just do it that way. So there are different quality or kinds of gear. You'll see that mostly I have 3 and 4 star right now. I'm trying to transition to 4 and 5 and 6 star gear at this point. I'm doing this as early as I can. I didn't do it this early in my other account. I didn't work it quite the same way in my main account. You'll have some gear that's 1 star, you'll have some gear that's 2 star as you proceed through the game, and you'll want to use some of that better of that gear. And what you're looking for is on these swords, when you upgrade them, I'm going to go to upgrade here, I'm going to go to level 4. Now that first 4 levels is guaranteed. You will always get those first 4 upgrades. You want to have a good stat here, a percentage stat of some kind. That is the ideal. Crit rate is excellent for this sword. And you can take a lot of your 4 and 3 star gear all the way up to level 8 without wasting money. I don't remember which video I talked about the process, so I'll cover it again. It's very simple. Do not go in here and click on this. This is what I used to do. You will waste a lot of silver. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even go past this upgrade 1 level. Just ignore that entirely. Just do this. 4 of these at a time, no more. Well, maybe 5 or 6, but no more than 6 and no less than 4. Right now we're going right through. So that's not a good example. I'll find another example and show it to you. My second stat is not so good. I've got 201 HP flat stat. I will probably not upgrade this to level 12. I will leave it at level 8. I will use it. Unless I'm really desperate, I don't think I'll do anything else with this. But you see how little silver I spent there. It would have been a lot different had I gone over through this here. What you get and how many rolls and everything. Apparently, how many rolls and what you get is pre-decided when you get the gear. But it's called RNG, random number generator. So you don't have any control over any of that. So here's a 3-star, so I'll be even pickier about what I do here. Okay, again, crit damage or crit rate is fine on a weapon. Now, what do we do for the 8 here? Well, let's see what we've got. One fail. 2 fail. Went through. Went through. Again, not a good example, but now this one, if I was not getting any 4-star gear and I was desperate, I could throw silver at this and go to level 12. I do not recommend it. In all the videos that I've done so far, I've stated with any of the 1 through 3-star gear, don't take it past level 8, and I stand by that. But you could theoretically take this to 12, and you're not going to be crying too much. I mean, this is some pretty good stuff here. It makes it have a little more attack power. I don't recommend it, though. But what I was going to demonstrate is if this had failed after up to no more than 6 attempts doing this single upgrade here, I would go over here to upgrade 1 level and I would click. And I would let it run through. And usually what will happen is when I click on this, it immediately upgrades. Not always. Sometimes it still rolls for a while, but most of the time, I would say about 70, 60, 70% of the, no, more than 60, more like 70, 80% of the time, I click on this, it immediately does the upgrade to the next level. Then I just come back over here and I do this again, up to 6 times. And if it doesn't go through, I click on this again. And I use a lot less silver doing that. And you need to be stingy with your silver when you're starting out and your gems, because you're going to have your gems. They're going to be unlocking your sparring pit and getting this upgraded, unlocking other slots. You're going to want these so that your champions can train while you're away. And I talk about that, I believe, in another video. You're going to want to unlock your slots in the marketplace. You're going to want to unlock your slots in your main inventory here, and you're going to want to unlock them over here. All of this requires either silver or gems, and I always recommend that you use the gems over the silver at all times for all that. And you're going to want it over here because this will generate gems for you every day the more you upgrade and work on this, but it takes 500 to unlock it. And you're going to want all of that stuff, so keep that in mind. So to reiterate, good gear is gear like this one here, although this is as far as I would take it, that has given me 2 good stats. Accurate flat stat is fine, especially for a weapon, and crit damage is good for a weapon. This is what I would call good gear. This is gear, because I've got crit rate, and that's really nice, but this flat stat HP, it's not going to hurt me, but it's not great. Here I have an attack at 6%. If I go to upgrade, let's do this one more time. This might be even a better example. Or not. This is going right through. That is so weird how it's going right through. Okay, so see, I would keep going because now I've got a percentage of HP. If I got a percentage here, I'd go all the way to 16. It depends on what you get, but flat stat accuracy is good. Flat stat speed is good. Percentage, attack, HP, crit damage, crit rate, all of that is good. Always looking for percentage over the flats. And then of course accuracy and speed only come in flat, so those don't really count. I mean, that is their best form, but you're always looking for, like this one here, this is an uncommon, so there's 3 levels of this. There's uncommon, which is right here, I believe. There's epic, which is right here, and then there's legendary, which has an orange or yellow border around it. And each of these will have stats pre-unlocked for you, and it's RNG which ones, as you upgrade it, will actually increase, and they'll usually double or a little more. So when I go into this one, I will probably see anywhere from 9 to 11% on this HP stat. So I got 10. So that is, again, another piece of good gear, because now I'm increasing my defense, I'm increasing my HP, and I will match this to a champion that's going to utilize the HP or need the HP and utilize the defense. Now, the final boss can give you these kind of pieces of gear. Usually you'll get this uncommon stuff. You might get some epic or legendary. I usually just see uncommon. So that's another reason to fight the campaign boss in each stage every day, because you're accomplishing those goals. You're working your way towards that, I believe, weekly or monthly goal that I showed you. And you're going to be getting better gear overall, because when you get the 4-star and the 5-star and the 6-star gear from the campaign boss fights, and it has an uncommon, so it has something pre-unlocked, or usually you can get some really good high numbers from that in areas where you need it, like defense, HP, crit damage, crit rate, etc. Now, each time you fight in this stage, you're going to level up a little bit. As the stages get more difficult, you'll be getting more experience. You get a certain amount of experience assigned per stage and per character, and I think there's a different amount through each one. A lot of people say that the, I believe, hard or brutal of this stage 3, I think it's brutal stage 3 of this, is where you get the most money. You get like 11,000 silver when you do that, and then you get a lot of experience. The more champions you have that you're leveling up in your team, the more that experience spreads around. So if you can, try to run with one champion that's gaining experience and the other champion's already fully maxed out, because then all of that experience that's earned through the battle will go to that one champion. But if you have a bunch of champions and you're trying to level them up, then you can do up to 2. You want to make sure that for each fight, especially starting out, that you have a minimum of 2 strong champions, and then you bring in your ones that you're trying to level up. And you want to make sure that you're working with opposite affinity where possible. So I see that this guy is stronger than all of these, and this one is. So I think I would survive this. So this would be a pretty good matchup, and I could go through and get these 2 guys leveled up a little at the same time. And that's how you basically, that you can farm for gear that way. You can take your food and level it up and create yourself some food that way. And you can level up your champions. Try to level up when there is going to be a champion training event where possible. Use efficiency. If you level up when there's a champion training event of some sort, then you can get those points and get those extra goodies from that event. And that's the only way you can get certain items, like the hammers for the forge, which you will unlock on level 35. Okay, so let's demonstrate a campaign boss fight. We'll do it on the level that you will likely be at if you were following along the videos and you were just below level 6, where I was when I first tried to do this video. So we're going to go here with this guy. Now this guy is of the magic affinity, and you see this little diagram here. It's telling me that force will trump magic, and magic will trump spirit, and spirit will trump force, and nothing trumps or messes with void. In other words, there's no strong or weak affinity to void. So this is weak to force, this is weak to magic, and this is weak to spirit. Okay? And you want to match up your team where possible. You don't have much choice when you're starting out. You're just trying to level up your characters, but where possible, get your strongest characters of the opposite affinity to fight. Now, when you're just starting out, you'll be part of a novice tournament, and I'm forgetting the details. I hope I covered a little more in a later video, but make sure you are looking for and earning points for that novice tournament and working your way up, because you can get that 3-star champion near the top if you just dedicate yourself to logging in each day and doing all your dailies, getting everything done. You should be able to get enough points to get all the way up there. You can push it and make that work and get yourself another champion. It's not a very good champion, but it's a champion, so go for it. But now let's do a really quick demonstration. This will be a 2-team fight here. So I've got one of equal affinity, and I've got one of opposite affinity where I'm stronger. Now, I don't think you can do critical hits if you're a weak against. So if I, for example, had a spirit affinity, they wouldn't be able to get a critical on this guy, but I'm not sure on that. It should be about dead level with these 2 magic, and then the force, it should be easier to get the critical hits. We'll just do one really quick. I've got 4 minutes to wrap before they shut down on me, so we'll press start. And I might fast forward to the end of this. Depends how fast it goes. Should go fast. That was a critical hit in yellow. When you see the yellow numbers, it means it's a critical hit. When you see red, I think that means it's an equal hit, and then it will say weak or something, and it'll be in white if it's a weak hit. And so I got this piece of gear. This is a 2-star gear. It's an attack set of boots. I will probably never use this, even in the beginning stage of the game, so this would be something I would sell. And I would also sell anything that has a flat stat. So set attack 8 or 25 or 15 or whatever. Instead of a percentage, I would definitely sell it. I'll keep it in this case because you should probably, at your stage right now when you're just starting out, keep any percentage type gear. But normally I would not, in the later stages of these weaker gear, I wouldn't keep anything under 4 stars if I could help it. But as these boots were not a flat stat, they're still better than any kind of a flat stat a boot of equivalent, except of course for speed boots. Speed boots is always desirable. That is a flat stat, but you desire that flat stat in that particular case. So you're going to be confronted with the arena. The tag team arena will be locked until level 35, and here you're going to want to set up a defense team. You're going to want to put your best people here. So your leader should be somebody that has skills that translate all the way through the rest of the champions. And she does defense and dungeons, so it doesn't work. Watch out what you put here. Make sure that the aura is something that'll actually benefit you and work. If I stuck her in front, it would be defense and dungeons only. Sometimes there's magic affinity only. There's no other magic, then that doesn't help anybody. She does HP in all battles 15%, so I have her there. Then this is your second, third, and fourth positions, and this is the order in which the characters will generally fight, but their speed will also determine it. And you want to kind of figure out what champions work best together, and you want to figure out what order works best with them. Usually I want a buffer or something, or a healer in the second or third positions. And then I might want a debuffer in the third or fourth positions, and then the person that matters the least when they fire up their attack, I'll put in the fifth position. This is the defense that I've currently set. I can go here to battle log and I can see how terribly I've been doing. And tiers will tell you where you are. You get this chest at the end of the time limit, which it should be saying up here, not here, right here. 3 days. So in 3 days, wherever you are, which right now I'm in bronze 1, I'll be able to come in here and collect this chest, or it'll pop up on my screen when I log in. This will tell you the top players. When you're battling, try to battle somebody that's not a whole lot stronger than you. Anytime you see something like this, especially starting out, grab that. You should be able to beat that. And then just kind of be very careful what you pick here. Get a good sense of what you're dealing with. You probably wouldn't be able to defeat somebody like this, even though they're a single, so I wouldn't mess with that. You might be able to defeat somebody like this, possibly, but you got to be careful. Some of these are traps, and they look weak, and they're not. If you don't like what you see, you can refresh, but don't use a lot of refreshes. That resets this back to 15 minutes for the next one, and it's just not worth the expense. I only do it rarely now, but I used to really do that a lot, and don't do what I've been doing. Try to just come back here in 15 minutes and do a normal free refresh. If you didn't find anybody, just fight who you know you can beat. Keep an eye on your level. Understand that your level and their level don't necessarily mean anything. It says that I'm 21k, and this one here is 883. But it could say over here there could be 4 or 5 players, and they could say they're 17k, and I would think I'm stronger, and I'd fight them, and I could be killed, because your gear, your masteries, your speed is king in the arena. All these factors will contribute to how a team does, and some people purposely make sure that their team power shows up really weak so that you fight them because you're a lot stronger in your number, but you find out that they kill you right away. So you just got to be aware of that. Last order of business is talking about food. I mentioned this briefly. So in here in the tavern, whenever this is unlocked, and I don't remember what level it unlocks, but once it's unlocked, you're going to come in here and you're going to, I don't even know if it is locked initially, I thought it was, but anyway, you're going to come in here and you're going to do some work here. So for example, if this was 1 star and I wasn't doing this whole 2-star goal right now, and I wanted to level this champion up, and I've been opening a lot of mystery shards, I would just shove in a bunch of these and I would level them up using the same kind of champion, and that's how I'd create my food and keep room in my storage for everything. That's how I would do it. I'd keep doing that until they reach level 10. Then I'd use one of these or something else to rank them up to the next, to a 2-star level 1, where I would use them at that point for food. So that's how I would generate food. And you do that here in the upgrade level tab. To upgrade rank, you need to have them maxed out for their current rank. So 1-star maxes out at 10, 2-star 20, 3-star 30, 4-star at 40, and 5-star or legendary at 50. And then you can go all the way up to level 60. Be very careful what champions you decide to level up to level 60. Your starter champ, whether it be Aethel or Kale or the one that I picked, whatever her name is, Elhain, that one you can take all the way to 60 and you're not going to be hurting too bad. Usually worth doing that. You'll know as you fight with these champions which ones are worth it. Like I found this guy and he's really good for what's called 1-slotting. I talk about that more in a later video. I'll take him up to at least 50 if not 60 because he's well worth it for this account, as I don't have a legendary. But basically what happened is if I had 4-star chickens, I could come in here and upgrade this guy up his rank so he'd be a 5-star level 1, and then I could take some potions in the level and I could do that. I can also do 4-star champions, but be careful. Do not use champions that are your 3-star, that are your fighters or your epics or any of that stuff for food. Do not do that. Stick with using the 2-stars for food and the 1-stars for food. And in the case of a lot of your 3-star doubles, like you see I have a 3-star double here, you can use those for food as well. And you can rank those 3 stars up even to 4-star and turn them in even to a 5-star, one level 5-star, so that you can use those to upgrade your 5-star champs. It's easier to do that with the level 3s. It's easiest to do it with the legendary and epics, but those legendary and epics, even if you get repeats, those are your best fighters most times, so you don't want to get rid of those. So keep a hold of those, don't rank them up. Lock anything that you don't want to mess with losing. You don't want to start using for food. Just use this little lock icon here. See, I have this guy locked. He's a 3-star. I got him up to 4-star and I locked him. All your 3-stars you should lock, and your 4-stars and 5-stars or your legendaries and their epics will be locked by default. Your rares will be unlocked by default, but you should lock all of them until you start getting repeats, and then you're starting to upgrade skills and you're using some for food. You'll get some champions of the 3-star that'll be farmable within the campaign stages. And those are the ones that are best to use for food and for, you can leave them unlocked because you can use them for food and for ranking up. Chickens you can use in place of champions for your ranking up, and they gave you 2, 3, 4, and 5-star chickens. Skills, if I had a skill book, there are 3 types. There is the blue, I believe it's common or something type skill book, and then a purple epic, and then a kind of a golden brown, which is for legendary. Legendary will upgrade epic and rare. Epic will upgrade epic and rare. Rare will only upgrade rare. Don't use anything other than rare on the 3-star and 2-star and 1-star champions where you're going to be using those. Stick with the rare books, but usually with the 2-star and 1-star champions, don't even use the rare books. Use duplicate 2-star and 1-star champions as skill books. If I had another 3-star Twin Claw Disciple, I could he would show up here if I had him unlocked, and I could use him to unlock some more skills. And that's what I would do rather than using a skill book. I'd only use a skill book initially for the 3 stars to get them their best skills. And then I'd only use the epic skill books on epics and the legendary skill books on legendary, because they're very hard to get a hold of. Even now, and they've made some improvements to that, they're hard to get a hold of, so don't waste them. Be careful with them. And down here is Ascend. Ascending is what makes these stars purple. You collect potions in the potion dungeon. I'll show this briefly. It says right here that I'll gain another skill if I can get him to go up 1 more level, but I need 1 more of this kind of potion. I need 1 of this kind of potion. I can go in here to the potion mixer, and I can actually mix and get 1 potion this way. And now I've got 1. But I don't have enough here to do that. 10 of these equals 1 of these, 10 of these equals 1 of these. It is impractical to try to use these to make these. It's better to just get all of these you can, take these and turn them into these as much as possible. And as you're doing that, you're collecting these other ones at the same time. And that way you're not wasting resources, because it's $100,000 to take 10 of these and turn them into 1 of these. It's not worth it. But that's where you go through and you ascend, and as they ascend, many champions will get new skills and abilities once they've ascended. And you'll be able to equip more artifacts on ascended champions. You'll see here that this, when you have 4 stars, you can equip a ring. When you have 5-star ascended, which shows right here, you can equip a necklace. You have 6-star ascended, you can equip an amulet for, necklace for this, and then banner. Yeah, banner for the 6-star. So you definitely want to do that ascension stuff for that. This video has gone very long, and I'm sorry about that. We got interrupted because there's a server update or something going on. The last thing we have to cover is the potion dungeons, and just do a brief overview so you understand that. Let's take a look at some gear here and see if any of it's any good. So we've got an HP pair of gauntlets with an attack. These are good percentage stats. If I was suffering for 4-star gauntlets, I would go for this. But right now I'm at a stage in the later game, not in the beginning game, but in the later game, probably after level 10 or after level 20, somewhere in there. You're going to be looking for crit damage or crit rate on these, preferably crit damage, but you need both to be able to effectively utilize that. So right now I wouldn't buy these. That's not what I'm looking for. But early game I would. This is an HP glove. Again, wouldn't buy it right now, but early game I would, because that would be useful. I would not use this chest plate unless I was desperate for accuracy on one of my champions. I've got this defense and resistance shield. I probably wouldn't buy it on that unless I was desperate for resistance. It's not very good with that substat. My last thing here is this defense flat stat gauntlet. This is a bad set of gear, so I won't even touch this. I won't even think about it. Okay, so now we've looked at that. Let's follow the red dots and we'll work our way over to the dungeons. We've got a dungeon diver coming. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to click over here on battle, and I'm going to go over here to dungeons. And over here in dungeons, these will be unlocked when you're first starting out. You get 1 week of these, so make sure you're spending as much time as you can in these and going as far into them as you can go. This is where you get the potions that you will ascend your champions with. You will need this base potion plus 1 of these kinds. And there are different levels. There are 3 levels of each of these kinds and 3 levels of this kind. If you click on it, you can see we've got the basic here, we've got the basic, and then the next one up here, I don't know the official name. And then we've got the basic and the next one up, and then the highest one here. You'll use these more in your legendary champions. You'll use these more in everybody all the way through your epics, and I think you even use these specifically in legendary. You'll use these ones here more in your up to your 3-star champions. Anywhere after 3-star, Ascension level 2. You won't be using this so much. You'll be using more of these from to get to 3-star level Ascension 3 and higher. I think will require these potions here. and that will be the same all the way through. So this is the one, now that I'm more advanced, I don't have my week free anymore. You just have a cycle. It'll go through, tells you when the next one opens. You can use gems to open it. Don't ever do that. Ignore that entirely. But it tells you when it will open. You can collect the potions you need then. Right now I've got 11 hours left in the Spirit Keep. That's the one that's open. This is as far as I've been able to get. I cannot beat this one yet, I don't think, or I haven't tried yet. I tried to beat it one of the other ones and I couldn't. So this is where I would be focusing my efforts, gathering my potions, getting my rares that I have and my few epics, getting them as high in the Ascension as I could. It looks like I was also supposed to show you in auto battle how to select a specific champion. I am fairly certain I am covering this in a future video in this series, so I'm going to leave that out for now. I want to call that good. Let me know if there's anything that I missed. I appreciate your comments, feedbacks, and suggestions. Okay, that concludes this video. If you liked the video, give it a thumb up, and if you did not like the video, give it a thumb down. Be sure to subscribe if you want more videos, and hit that notification icon to be notified when new videos are released. And also go and check out my Teespring store over here at DreamBliss-Designs. You'll find a link in the description below. I've got a couple of designs here right now. I've got this mask does not equal safe. I want to have a bit of an attitude because of everybody trying to make us wear masks right now. I've got a little Zen saying here: to reach your destination, embrace the journey. I've got a little poem that I wrote, and the poem says, life doesn't have to be so hard, it has a flow. Sometimes you'll drift, sometimes you'll row, but you get to choose the direction you'll go. I've got more designs coming, and I've got some designs I'm going to be bringing over from my former Spreadshirt page, so keep an eye out for that. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.